Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Nomadic Timbo, and today I'm going to talk to you about my own personal experience when it comes to teaching English online, because I think it's going to benefit some of you, particularly those who are into the nomadic lifestyle as well as the current situation that we're in with the pandemic right now. First of all though, I'm just going to say that this is not a video on which particular apps that I would recommend, because I'm only using one at the moment, which is called Cambly. More on that a little bit later. So it's not really my place to give you advice on which apps that you should or shouldn't go for. So let me start off by saying that I was doing a job in Oslo in Norway for H&M, just doing warehouse work, which is very enjoyable, very, very enjoyable, as well as being well paid. But then when it comes to the early months of the year, and I know some of you Scandinavians will definitely relate to me on this, but yeah, when it comes to January, February, and March, I have to go. I just have to go somewhere warmer, whether it's Asia, Latin America, Australia, New Zealand, whichever part of the world I feel like for the time. So yeah, I came back to Sri Lanka for a fourth time, mainly to improve my surfing, as well as maybe seeing other parts of the country that I haven't seen yet. So originally the plan was to be here for 2 or 3 months, and then the pandemic happened. So I've ended up being here ever since for, well, it's like a year and a half roughly now, which is insane. But yeah, I've been very lucky though, because it's been one of the better countries to be in overall during this pandemic, even though we've been in lockdown for the last 3 and a bit weeks. But yeah, we did have 12 months in a row where there was no lockdown. So yeah, I definitely should be grateful about that. Anyway, yeah, because of the money that I saved up in Norway, luckily for me, it took about 9 months, I think, until I really needed to get some kind of income coming in. And I actually asked a couple of friends who were here in Sri Lanka, so I hear you guys are teaching English online. I mean, I have a TEFL qualification, so I guess that puts me in a good position, right? And they said, yeah, it does, definitely. Even if you're just a native speaker, then it puts you in a good position. So I thought, oh yeah, I should definitely go for it then. So I looked into, it was Palfish at first, which is meant to be a good app, and I'm sure it is. Even though you can get up to $20 or more per hour, the only problem is that you have to start at a very low rate to build up your clientele. And yeah, I didn't really want to have such a low rate to begin with. So I ended up joining Cambly, which pays you $10, 20 per hour right from the word go, judging on your talk time, I mean. So I thought, yeah, I'll just get my foot in the door with that one and then see what happens. Before that though, when it came to the application process, and this is what is really nice about teaching English online, is that the application process is very, very straightforward. You end up answering pretty basic questions overall. And like I said, if you have a qualification, definitely add that in, because it definitely helps your cause. But yeah, so after you do that, you end up doing the video intro, where well, it actually works about better than an interview, I would say, because you don't have to look at the other person in the face. You can just like film yourself and do multiple takes if you want. Like you can have like anywhere between 2 or 5 or 17 or whatever amount of takes it gets to ensure that you make the perfect video when you send it off to apply. So that's what happened, and then thankfully I got approved only a few days later, which is obviously awesome. And then I just got straight into it. And guys, it's been a fantastic experience. It's been really, really cool, because as I mentioned in previous videos, I love meeting people from around the world. It's one of my favorite things about traveling in general. And what's great is that you get to do this, but you also help them develop their language skills at the same time. But the funny thing is that even though the app that I use, Cambly, makes it very easy for you when it comes to actually doing the proper lesson, because you know it has lesson plans and an easy format for you to follow. Most of the time, 70% at least, I would say, you end up just having like general conversations with people. And man, I've ended up having conversations about so many different topics and subjects, and it's been so much fun as a result. And the other thing that it reassures you as well is that, you know, it's like a reminder that your people skills tend to be at a very, very good level, particularly when you don't feel that there's any threat of like running out of things to say, because there's always a danger of that sometimes. But I mean, I know, you know, because of professional reasons, you need to make sure you keep the conversation going throughout the entire duration, which could be anywhere between 5 minutes and 1 hour, depending on what the student chooses. So yeah, it's really good in that way. And yeah, I mean, I've ended up having some super fun conversations with people, which is not too dissimilar to what it's like when you live the traveling lifestyle in general. So it's really good in that way. And you get such a buzz out of not only, you know, having very fun and interesting conversations in general, but also you can see that when they can see that their English is improving, or they understand that they're making good progress compared to like previous lessons or whatever position they were in months prior, they really get like you can see how much pleasure it gives them, and then you feel really good about yourself as a result, because you know you're helping people develop their skills. And the other thing that's cool about it too is that well over 90% of the people that I speak to anyway, they are naturally motivated to get better at speaking English. So that makes life way easier for you, but also it makes life easier for them, and then you know you end up having good chemistry most of the time. Downsides, it can be a little bit repetitive. I'm not going to deny that, which can be, you know, a little bit mentally draining, particularly if you have a busy day. But, you know, it's not too bad. It really isn't too bad. And there are times where you get 5-minute calls where people are having free trials, and then some of them just don't speak any English at all. But, you know, if you have like the right people skills, you can easily work your way around that, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, I think the biggest take that I've had out of it is that, you know, it's a really good reminder that, you know, my teaching skills and my social skills are at a pretty good level. I mean, I'm not being arrogant or anything now, but yeah, I think it's like a big reflection on the way students react to, you know, interacting with you, so to speak. And the other thing that I will mention too is that, it doesn't necessarily have to be English that you're teaching online. I mean, some of you guys who are non-native speakers, you could end up teaching like French, Russian, German, for example, Spanish. And even those of you who are non-native speakers, I'm pretty sure that there's some apps that you can use where if you're at a good level or you have certain qualifications, then you could definitely get a job online with one of those. Not with Cambly, because Cambly prefers to take on native speakers, admittedly. But there are definitely some out there though, guys, where you can use for sure. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you love the nomadic lifestyle and you're in very affordable countries, then yeah, you can end up doing 25, 30 hours per week or something like that and easily have a very good work-life balance, no problem at all. I mean, like here in Sri Lanka, it's perfect for me because I at least break even and even make like a decent amount of profit sometimes, so it's really good in that way. But yeah, you could do it in like Southeast Asia, Central America, Eastern Europe, South America. Yeah, there's plenty of parts of the world where you could do this, where you could easily make like a living out of it in a nomadic kind of way. And of course, because of the situation that we're in with lockdown, or many of you are in as well, it's really good for that too, because if you have no sense or no sort of like income coming in at the moment, then it's a really good way for you to continue earning money. And even if you are, even if you still are working a full-time job and you just want to get like an extra bit of money coming in, and this is a really good way of doing it for sure. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you guys because I know a lot of you are in lockdown like me, and hence why I was motivated to make this video in the first place. So yeah, and if there's any of you who have extra tips in the comment section on, you know, good ways in order to get into this, or like apps that you would recommend, then please put it in. So yeah, I'll just leave it there. And again, thank you so much for watching, guys. It means a lot to me, and I'll see you guys soon.